Hey guys, AntVenom here, and welcome back to another Minecraft video. And today's video is going to be a little bit of a mix mash of a whole bunch of different things. As I've probably noted somewhere in the title, not really too sure what I'm going to title this video just yet. But essentially what this video is going to be is it's going to be me listing off what I am going to refer to as the unofficial AntVenom mod pack, but it's not actually a mod pack because I don't feel like going around and getting all the different permissions from the mod makers and then having someone create a mod that like organizes the mods, and that's just whatever. And I'm not really that complicated when it comes to what mods that I actually use. So anyways, I'm going to be listing off those mods. I'm going to be showing you guys some changes to the mod, the Better World Generation 4 mod, because it recently, well, I believe with its 4th iteration, got an incredibly awesome update that I want to show you guys, and it's actually the reason why I've had the mod installed, and it pretty much will always be installed for me from this point out. And there's a couple of peaceful map updates that I want to get into, but it wasn't really enough to do in its own video, because it covers things that were changed in the last peaceful map update, but were just kind of more like refined in this one. So anyways, starting off here, I want to get you guys into the unofficial AntVenom mod pack, I guess. Well, I don't know, official, unofficial, it's not even a mod pack. Basically, if you want to run the same sort of mods that I do, that I'm running in-game at this particular time, like the way I play in default Minecraft, because I don't actually install mods that modify the game, I install mods that modify the aesthetics of the game. So what I have installed is I have the Optifine mod installed, though this one's very optional because I know that not a lot of you have computers that can really handle it. And another thing I'm using too is the Faithful Venom 32x texture pack, which I just very recently updated. So it has the round sun, the round moon, and there was a big complaint that this texture pack had for a little while. When it got changed to 1.5, there was this problem with fire that the map had, and I'm going to show you guys what that issue was right about now, where the fire animation, about half of it, had this little white pixel border around it, and it was really annoying. So what I did is I downloaded the Faithful texture pack, the one that this texture pack is based off of, got the fire from that, and just put it into this one. So this is the fire texture out of that one, and it no longer has that issue, so we are good on that front. So yeah, the Optifine mod, again, it's optional because the 32x texture pack is now supported in vanilla as of 1.5, and that is amazing. So if you don't have a computer that's really all that great, then the Optifine mod is definitely optional. But the Auditory mod is another mod that I've been using with the Retro Sounds pack. It's what's allowing things like the door sounds here. Me falling sounds. If I go ahead and I set my game mode to 0 here, and then I take some fall damage, you'll hear the old school Steve sound. Yeah, and you'll also hear the knees breaking thing, but, that's fine to me as long as the Steve sound is in there. You hear the old school cow sounds, like the cows don't sound like broken records anymore, and they're a little bit louder, but, it's more old school, and I just like it that way. I'm very much a big fan of that. So again, the Auditory mod with the Retro Sounds pack for 1.5 is really good. Something that I did change in that myself, if you guys want to make the change for yourselves, is that the ladder sounds were that of the new sounds, and they sound like very dry ladders that need a lot of WD-40. And what I did is I changed that with the sound of walking on wood. So if you listen very carefully here, let me turn my sounds up. You can see that it doesn't actually sound like any of the new sounds or anything like that. It just sounds like, you're stepping on wood. And I very much like it that way. So that is something that I have done as well. So the other mod that I also wanted to get into the changes about is the Better World Generation 4 mod. And what this mod allows you to do is it allows you to customize the way that the worlds spawn in Minecraft. But it has changed in such a way that has made it very desirable. In fact, at the end of my mod review for that, when I first reviewed the Better World Generation 3 mod, I made one very primary suggestion that I thought would make the mod just so perfect that I would just love it forever. And that is, if I go ahead and I go and save and exit here, if I go to start up a new map and create new world, blah blah blah, creative, when you would go to world type here, the default option for world type was actually modified. So basically what you would do is you would choose world type, you would have default, super flat, large biomes, And then you would have beta, alpha, inf-dev, things like that. They would all be listed here. But now the way that it's changed is now all of the Better World Generation types are in this subset here. This world type BWG4, Better World Generation 4. And then you hit customize, and then you get the option that you want. So, as I said before, if I go ahead and I go to world type default, this was changed in Better World Generation 3. But now, world type default spawns the world as it would in 1.5. Just normally, this mod doesn't mess with that anymore. Instead, if you want to get its modified version of default, you use this option. You go to Better World Generation 4, and then you choose Better Default. And things like Beta Generation, you know, if you leave it just like this, it will spawn as it was in Beta 1.7, and it is amazing. If you want to spawn the alpha map, you know, like old school, if I go done here, and I go ahead and I do this, the world will spawn as it did in alpha, though it doesn't have like the super light textures or anything like that. But again, it is spawning as it would in alpha, though it doesn't spawn you on a beach. That I think would be a very cool little update, because I don't know if the mod maker actually knows, but you would always spawn on sand, normally near a beach, when you would spawn in alpha world. But either way, you know, this is spawning as it would in alpha. If you were to like somehow, you know, open up alpha with this world seed, it would work. This is how it would spawn in alpha, you know, old school alpha spawning for the win. Yeah. Anyways, let's go ahead and let's save and quit here. So the relevance of me mentioning this is that I did this with the previous piece map update, but it broke because of the transition between Better World Generation 3 and 4. Is that now my piece map, as long as you always have this mod installed when you run my piece map, any new chunks that spawn in the piece map will spawn as if it were beta. And I did a live stream a little while back of me, you know, exploring this, and it was lots and lots of fun. I had, you know, really quite a bit of fun, you know, just exploring new terrain, you know, going on an adventure. It was, you know, a whole lot of fun. So if you guys want to generate new chunks, you can do so without fear now. Just be sure, again, you load up the piece map after you have this mod installed, and it will work fine. So yeah, getting a little bit of lag here because of the world generating, because I changed up a couple of Optifine settings, which has smoothed out the world for me, but as a result, I've got a little bit of a frame rate drop. I'm not really too sure if I am going to stick with these settings, but yeah, I think it's the anti-aliasing that I didn't have on before that I do have on now is really just breaking things. So I'm probably going to go ahead, actually, I'm going to like turn that off now. Oh, and these are my multiplayer chat settings if you guys ever wanted to know. I have it set up in such a way where that the chat isn't really big, and that the chat window itself here, you notice if I keep typing out here, it doesn't actually scale into the hearts here, where on default it does, and I find that incredibly annoying, insanely annoying. So my multiplayer chat settings are as here. I play in 1080p windowed mode, and then my start menu is on a different monitor. Though if you do put the start menu on your monitor, I recommend dragging it to the side so that you don't get a super top and bottom crop thing going on, or just play in full screen. That works too, I guess. So anyways, moving on here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get into the various piece map updates now. There are two things. They both have to do with things that were updated in the previous update, but these are more refined updates. One of them was done by a fan. I believe his name is either Jack or John, and then 8668. I think that's his name, so he can leave a comment or something. He sent this to me via an email, and at first I wasn't going to look at it, but I'm like, all right, I want to take a look. And so it's not the sugarcane farm, but it's the cactus farm that he changed. But anyways, I want to show you guys what I have changed with the sugarcane farm. You notice that the sugarcane is currently fully grown and is not chopping or anything. That is because I have finally gotten this thing right. Like, every single piece of map update, I've seemed to have changed something about it, and I finally got it right. So let's go ahead and let's go into the sugar farm maintenance area now. It no longer requires any sort of fuel or anything like that. Instead, what it runs off of is it runs off of a, what do you call it? A block update detector. And yeah, so everything with the blue wool here is involved with the block update detector. And when this piston right here gets triggered by the sugarcane growing, this piston will fire. It will send off the redstone signal out this way, and I have to have this down in order for the farm to actually actuate. But I'm going to keep it up because I don't actually want the farm to, you know, to trigger when this whole thing sets, and there's a reason for that. But anyway, so let me go ahead and let me go into game mode. Let's see, not fame mode, but game mode 1, and let's go and let's grab some sugarcane here. So yeah, when the sugarcane grows to full here, you're going to see what happens. So as you can see there, it triggered this piston right here, which fired and, you know, circled throughout the whole system. And then this repeater right here goes underground to this, which fires this piston and chops the sugarcane, which resets the whole thing. So let me go ahead and let me turn my sounds on here and do that one more time. So again, when it fully grows, you're going to see what happens here. So let's do that one more time. So there we go. So yeah. And when this switch right here is flipped and this block is in the way, the redstone signal will travel from these repeaters onto this line and chop the sugarcane farm out there. So let me just go ahead and let me do that one more time. Pay attention to those repeaters right there, like those ones that are right at the end there. So you can see that just for a split second it was on, and that the signal would have traveled through that block and chopped down the whole thing. But the reason why I do not have them chopped down is, or that I don't have it chopping down, is just because I like the way that it looks. But the reason why that I say that I really got it right is because I feel like the timing couldn't be any more perfect. The timing of a sugarcane farm is determined by the growth of a sugarcane, and I have it set on grass because I do believe that it grows slower on grass, which is, I think, is just fine for the farm. So I really feel like I got it right this time, and I never have to mess with this stupid farm ever again. So yeah. So anyways, moving on here, let me go ahead and let me show you guys the changes to the sugarcane farm, the cactus farm here, because I do really feel like I got it right this time as well, but it wasn't me who got it right, it was a fan who got it right, though he did have something added that I personally did not like, so I did make one change, but yeah. So anyways, if you guys remember from my previous Peaceful map update, I had this weird system set up where the cactus would drop into here, and if there were multiple ones that would drop in, I had this weird system that was over here but no longer is, that would prevent the system from moving too fast. And this little genius, again, I think it's either Jack or John. I'm pretty sure it was John, but I could be wrong. Actually, I'm going to look it up here just because I really, really want to know. Again, he sent it to me via an email, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to look this up here. So there we go. I got his name. His name is Jack6886, and he is the person who did the modifications to this. Originally, he had this auto cooking room that was actually rather pointless down here, but modification that he actually did to the cactus farm itself is very good, and I did include a little auto cooking thing in here. You just drop the fuel in yourself, and then whatever you want to cook, and then it will automatically get sucked out and then dropped into this chest. I was going to make a completely automatic cooking thing where you would just drop your drop like a cactus into the hopper, or if it automatically came in, it would drop in. But unfortunately, Minecraft is a little bit buggy in terms of what it will drop into a furnace. In fact, when I was testing it, I couldn't get it to drop anything into a furnace, including food, which is a little bit weird. And I didn't have like anything powered with redstone to prevent it from dropping in, so I don't know. But anyways, moving on here. So one major change that was made to the cactus farm is that when items drop in, they drop into this dropper line, and I actually was unaware of until this guy sent me the update that a dropper could drop an item into another dropper. I did not know that at all, so yeah. So anyways, the way that this works is that when an item drops into this dropper here, it activates a clock, which goes from right here to this bit right, or no, it goes from here to this bit right here, which deactivates this, which, you know, cycles this whole thing, which goes around and round. You can kind of see the torch for that there. So this torch goes into that, which goes into that repeater, which goes into this redstone right here, which cycles back around. It just cycles back around, back and forth. So it basically spams all of the droppers on and off, which is why it doesn't matter how many items go into this thing. I could drop all 9 of these in here, and you'll see that it'll just go through just fine. You see, it just cycles this whole thing. This line turns on, which turns this torch off, which allows the whole thing to just start spamming, and it just works. Like if I go up here, you'll see, boom, all the sugarcane is in there. I could go ahead and I could drop, you know, all of this crap in here, and again, it would just work. Actually, I'm going to drop in half the stack so it doesn't, you know, completely spam, but it will in fact work. So yeah. So again, we go over here. You can see the whole thing is just working, and just boom, 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 boom. It just keeps going. It doesn't stop, and there's, you know, it doesn't get stuck on anything. So it's a very, very cool idea. So yeah, you can see all of the cactuses depositing in here, and it works awesomely. So one more thing I do want to mention before I go ending off the video is that with this thing right here with the furnace, the way that the items actually get sucked out is that they go into, let me go ahead, let me grab a furnace here. They go into a hopper line right here. You can see there's a hopper underneath here, and that hopper line goes to right here. The hoppers are actually, You can kind of see here the hoppers are going into this main line, which just drops them into this one dropper feed, and it just works. It just works the way that I want it to. And you can see how much of a mess this cave is down here ever since, you know, this has all been changed up. It's just it will never ever look the same again. But yeah. So anyways, I hope I haven't, you know, completely lost you guys in the redstone technicalness that has been, you know, this update. And I hope that you all have found this video quite enjoyable. I do want to get into more pixel map related things in the future, and as well I do want to get into a little bit more things on the survival side on my channel. Like, I want to kind of tone down the amount of survival games that I'm doing, or at the very least just, you know, change up things so that it doesn't get quite as boring and monotonous. So I'll probably be toning down the amount of survival games I'll be doing. I'm hopefully going to be bringing back mod reviews at the very least once a week. So that would be very cool. I'm hoping, you know, mini games once a week. I want to have a, you know, a very good variation of everything and make sure nothing ever gets really boring. So yeah, sheep, you have 8 of 8 health. Not anymore! So yeah, and the damage indicators mod is something I'm going to be using a little bit more often as well, just because I like it. You know, it's very cool. It's a very, very neat little aesthetic thing, especially since they added the skin that they very recently added after my review. Like, this is a very cool skin. I like it. And I don't want to know what they're doing. Yeah, you better moo, stupid cow. So anyways, guys, hope you all have enjoyed this weird little mix mash update video mod review thingy mabooper. My name is AntVenom, and I bid you all farewell. Thanks so much for watching.